welcome to Beans, Brews and Bread on this very cold, damp January day. Should we go and have a look on the plot and see what's managed to survive that massive cold spell we had? Let's go and have a look. So a quick January tour, because there's not a lot of things growing, as I said previously, but it's interesting to see what's managed to survive after those really cold spells we had over Christmas and beforehand, -9 temperatures. The salsify has managed to survive really well. Quite impressed with how that's managed to hold on. Give those a dig up, I think, and maybe see how they're faring for a bit of dinner this weekend. And miraculously, over near the leeks and carrots, they've actually survived. And the leeks, touch wood, I mean, they're tiny little pencil things, but they've managed to hold on. So if I'd have got them in the ground a bit earlier, then I might have had some leeks. Otherwise, carrots, a lot of the tops have died off, unless the very big ones like here. Volunteer broad bean has completely died, so that's a goner. But no, the carrots, fingers crossed, might be okay under there, unless they're attacked by the dreaded carrot fly. Might harvest a couple of those and see how they do. Someone suggested I give an update on the Jadam bucket the other day after the frost, and we've now had the thaw, but I am not looking forward to looking in there because it absolutely hummed when it was frozen. I dread to think what the smell is like. Now it's defrosted. Shall we have a look? Well, it's bubbling. Doesn't smell that bad. Then again, I've not roused it, so I think we'll keep that under advisement. How about you? Would you have you got any plans to carry on using your weed tea or Jadam fertigation liquid? I know one thing, it certainly hums and keeps the cats off the allotment. Oh, blimey. Oh, that'll put airs in your chest. Well, if you've liked the tour so far today, I'd be really grateful if you could give the video a bit of a thumbs up. It's that button, see that funny one, like a hand, like that, thumb possibly in that direction, or not if in that direction. That's the best way to get the video shared and suggested to people who also watch content like this to maybe watch it too. And if you do press that button down there, I can guarantee your parsnip harvest this year will be 125% sweeter after those cold frosts. You'd not have thought that, would you? Kohlrabi is just about hanging on. Is that a little snail there having a little munch? Is he? Yeah, I think he might be. They're hearting up. We'll give them a feed. See if they hold on a bit longer than the purple kale. It's just about doing okay. A couple of examples here might give those a feed. That's not bad at all, that one. Happy with that. Particularly given that we had such low temperatures. As for the turnip, got some stalwarts hanging on. They're all nice and firm, not mushy or waterlogged. They've done really well. Some nice, even better ones down this end here. Look, that's done well. Not attacked by any snails or slugs. However, the purple top Milan have not fared so well. They are, I think, a goner. They're not one for overwintering, but the snowball, really impressed with that variety. I think we'll be doing that over winter again. So top tip there, snowball for overwinter turnips. On the other hand, the parsnips are looking very sad. They didn't look too bad under the snow. This rose here fared slightly better. This one here, look, just all foliage has died down. I'm hoping that the roots underneath will be okay. I've taken a couple up. I'll show you them here. Not bad. Specimen here, look. No canker, as far as I can tell, with it being this filthy. Doesn't look like there's much canker on that. So I'm really happy if they can stay under the ground and survive a bit longer. Nice and sweet after that frost we had. Try curried parsnip soup. How does that sound? And second to last, the perpetual spinach has actually fared very well. I'm going to thin this just to a couple of plants. Another line there. The chard, on the other hand, that is all that's left of the green one with the white stem. The red one looking very sad. That has not survived. That is completely rotten. So possibly the red rainbow varieties are not necessarily as winter hardy as green ones. This bed here I've got is the elephant garlic, and there is one just popped its head up. There he is, little fella. And there's another line of onions down this side here, and I've just prepped this line here with the soil miller. Another line of garlic we'll put in there, normal garlic, and the rest of that bed where I put the compost on, which looks rather trashy. A lot of roots from the old hot plants in there. We'll get that bedded up with some onion sets. But that's really it for January. Show what managed to survive and what didn't. Not a lot really. But plenty of ideas for the new year, and some nice new tools to be able to prep these beds nicely. But that's on another video. And hopefully, if the algorithm's doing its thing, it might suggest somewhere around about here, maybe here, or there, maybe here, no, maybe there. I might suggest you go and watch it. So that's a review of the new tools I got for Christmas. So maybe go and give that a watch. Well, thanks for watching Beans, Brews and Breads today on the January allotment tour. That's over a year's worth of allotment tour videos now. Can't believe we've been doing this for a year. But then again, we didn't have the cold spell that we did, that we just had now. So things perhaps overwintered a bit better last year compared to this year. So you never know. But maybe go and watch the old January video and you can see what the plot used to look like last year. Thanks for watching today. If you've liked what you've seen, I'd be grateful if you give it a thumbs up. To be notified of the next time I'm going to put a video out for the February tour, and press the subscribe button below. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Cheers, bye. Well, that's not my pile of manure, unfortunately, but it is still just about February. So let's go down, have a look on the allotment, see how things have been over the last cold snaps, storms, generally horrible wintry weather, see if anything's survived. Let's go and have a look. A really quick video this month. I think it's interesting to see what the site looks like even in February, which is still winter. Not a lot growing on mine, but I think it's always instructive to try and see what is just about hanging on, where we've got space to get everything plans for planting, really, which is always a good thing. Get things in mind where we're going to get the beans sown and where we're going to put the potatoes and stuff. We'll come around, we'll have a look, see, but there's still a few things hanging on, so let's go and have a look. Well, there's not a lot going on in February, but we've got a tidy up on our hands. Those leeks have actually survived the frost on that bed, but the carrots have not. They're all gone after that really cold temperatures we'd had, and had another cold spell, because there's not really a lot growing and a lot going on. So that's the leeks there. Might see if we get a few. Turnips survived, but I don't think they're looking particularly appealing, so they're coming out. And we have actually started to demark the paths for this year. Put the weed membrane down. I've got a few sort of bit of bark I might just throw down on it to keep it weighted down back at the house. heritage kale, one has not made it. I'm afraid that one down there is gone, but this one here, there's a possibility we'll keep that one going for now, but not for long, because I think we're putting some other stuff in here soon. Parsnips all out, a couple of little runty survivors, and the perpetual spinach just about hanging on, but very, very, very pigeon pecked. I'm sure you can tell. There you go. Rainbow shard, all rotted as well. And that is the elephant garlic, the only thing really growing on the plot. Elephant garlic, garlic, and a couple of rows of onion sets. Got the onions sown by seed back at the house. It's been nice to get down to the plot today, but God, it looks bare. It's remarkable how in this sort of February-March time there's very little growing, unless you've managed to get any broad beans in overwintered, or onion sets, or garlic, or you've got any brassicas, which I can never seem to get overwintered brassicas. Really struggle to get them in place in time for the winter and keep you going. Well, I think I'll try and have a go over that this year, get some overwintered brassicas if I can. But just, I suppose the one advantage is that you can get a really good clean tidy up on the plot, ready for all your spring sowings and plantings of things you've started at home, like beetroot and other things like that. So also you can get the paths down. We don't have grass paths on this particular plot, but I'm fed up of having to weed in between where we put the plants. So I'll show you now where we've put the paths, where we try and get some wood chip down or bark. Got a bag of it at home. Try and bring it down here in a week or so, get that down on the weed suppressing fabric. But it just looks very sad really, which is a shame. But lots of things to look forward to. So if you'd like to help support the channel, I've got a Patreon page. I've got a link down in the description below. If you'd like to be a member on the Patreon page, we'll get regular updates as we get things in. And depending on the tier, we've got the hop project rhizomes to plant in, and we'll get those in, and we'll put an update on Patreon. So anybody that subscribes to that tier will get advance, no advert viewing of that video where we plant the hop rhizomes. We've got the live stream coming up, which is with the Really Easy Brew Day. We've got that live. We've got the winners of the Heritage Lettuce Seed competition coming up as well. So I'll give you a link to the video in the short below, where you can put your answer in the comment. If you watch the video short, which has the name of the variety of the Heritage lettuce. So another week to go before we'll announce 5 winners, and we'll get that up on the site as well. If you like what you've seen today, it'd be really great if you give the video a thumbs up. It's only a short one, but I think it's still important to get one every month. You get to see what the allotment's like, warts and all, and it's definitely warty this month. If you'd like to be notified of the next time we've got a video on the channel, then press the subscribe button. There's the bell icon, that should hopefully notify you next time a video goes live. So we've got the path set up now. That'll be where the peas and beans are going to go later. Broad beans at the front, I think. Peas and beans that side here. But I think might put some of the onion and garlic sets in a couple of rows this side of the path, just to get a quick harvest before the Allotment beans and climbing French beans and things go in a couple of months' time. So may even interplant those between the onions and garlic actually, but not a lot growing. It's a very sparse looking plot. So only a quick update really for February. But there are signs of life. There's the garlic, elephant garlic and onion. We've got another couple of rows in this side of the path. So a very quick one for end of February. feel that we have got a bit of warmer weather coming eventually. But there's still warnings of some cold snaps, so we'll keep it tidy, get this side weeded, onwards and upwards. Many thanks for coming along today. We'll see you next time. We'll definitely get something in the ground next month. See you later. Bye. Morning. Welcome to Beans, Booze and Bread for the end of March. We go and get a quick tour in before the month ends. It's warmed up. It's now officially spring. Got a few things in the ground, tidied up a little bit. We'll have a look. So in the heritage plot, we've got a bit of tidying to do. We've got the old shallots to get out and the salsify. We're going to get that out. We'll get that tidied up. We've got the tomato area to clear up as well. We've got some old lattice fencing from the house, which I'll probably use for some cucumber trellis or for some climbing squash or something like that. Also managed to salvage part of an old bed for maybe a bit of an addition to the raised bed when we finally get the torn down polytunnel down, and I will get that down this year, I promise, before the season starts. Made a start on clearing the compost experiment, and as you can see, composting in place has actually resulted in some pretty decent looking compost. So anything that we've leached out from the composting process into the soil is going to make this a really, really rich spot on the plot. So this should hopefully be good for the brassica cage that we've got planned for putting in this spot, and we'll spread this out across the whole of this once I've cleared these leeks away. So we're going to harvest these leeks today and get these in the pot with a nice potato and leek soup. And some of the rougher stuff from the compost I've bagged up over there, and we'll get that back in the pile. But as you know, a thin application of compost to the brassica area before we lime it and get the little seedlings in, that's pretty darn good. Not much to show for this section. Obviously we've got it paved up so we can walk nicely. We'll get the soil miller out and give it a weed when it's a bit drier, but as you can see, we've protected some stuff we've kept over. The kohlrabi's just been pigeon feed basically, but as you can see here, you can tell this heritage kale has just about survived. So I think we'll get this, plant it up, put it in the basket cage in the kale spot. Yeah, that's the Burt's purple kale. So we'll cover that back up. He's just managed to survive the pigeons. I'm getting nicely covered up again. See if we can keep him going, maybe get some seed from him for next year. See what it tastes like. Looks nice. I've got the broad beans in. They're all in. They're doing really well. They're romping away. Aquadulcia Claudia, and then I've got another row just next to it there where the line is, which I've sown in between these hoops, and we'll get them strung up. And there's a little surviving parsnip over there. Oh, keep him going, see if he gets any better. Some of the perpetual spinach over there's just about survived. It should have been covered up really, otherwise it's just pigeon feed again. And over here, got the garlic. This is the elephant garlic at the front. Elephant garlic all the way down there. 2 rows, that's from saved bulbs from last year. And next to that we've got 2 rows of garlic. This is basically the allium bed for this year. We spread out the compost from the plot over this section. And so far I've got 1, 2, 3 rows of onions. These are from sets. This is from the onion insurance video. But remember, I'll put a link in the description and a card up here. And then we'll get, maybe if we're lucky, some of the ones that we've done from seed in as well. There's a bit of space there for maybe another row or 2. that's garlic saved from last year. We'll did have a problem with white rot in this part of the plot with the onions last year. Some of it was okay, some not so much. Might use this as a bit of a catch crop for green garlic and scapes if it's a hardneck variety. So put that in now, get a quick harvest if we can, and then we'll put the I think the peas and beans down this neck of the woods. That should be good for this year too. So a few things in order. At the front of the plot, I'd say middling, maybe 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10 for putting the beans in. I'll say maybe 4 out of 10 for preparation of the brassica cage and not quite getting in hand with the clearing of this area yet, but we haven't got the cabbage seedlings to put in yet, so let's see how it goes. Thanks for watching today on Beans, Brews and Bread. If you've liked the content, then I'd be really grateful if you give it a thumbs up. Thumbs up and sharing is probably one of the best ways of getting the video noticed, so other people who like this kind of gardening and home brewing and baking content can watch it too. If you have any comments or suggestions, then pop down into the comments below. I'd like to see your thoughts. If you'd like to be notified of the next time we've got a video, then press the subscribe button. Make sure you press the bell so you get notified and send a ping next time we have a video on. Well, thanks for coming along today. We've got plenty of things coming up in the next month. But for now, see you later. Bye. Well, it's end of April, beginning of May. So we're going to have a look on the allotment and see how things are growing. Spring's here, things are growing, things have been planted out. Let's go and have a look. Just testing the mic. Don't want a JB error, do we? So today on the plot, we're going to have a look what we've got planted. We've had the raw beans in for a while now, but now the soil's really warmed up. We can direct sow. We've got all the things that we started off at the house planted in. We can start thinking about having those succession plantings of the same crops, just direct sown from seed, which really extends your season and also makes a bit of a better use of your space as well. If you can get that planned. I struggle from that sometimes, trying to get that second flush of crops from the same season following on, so you can extend your produce a bit further. Now we'll go and have a look now, see what we've got in. We've had a really good stab at the brassica cage and the area for those. We've got those planted in. Maybe just able to see garlic, which has been planted in spring, wasn't overwintered. Apart from, I think, maybe I have to check on the video. Remember, look at one of the videos from last year. If I remember, I'll put a card up here. We'll see if we actually planted the elephant garlic a bit earlier or later in last year, so it was overwintered. But the elephant garlic was brilliant. Great growth on that. Doesn't seem to be affected by too much in the way of rust. Doesn't seem to have bolted either. Fingers crossed. So we're going to have a look on the tour now, and see what we've got going for this month. I don't know what you're going to call this month. We call it April, end of April, beginning of May. We call it May. The Maypril plot tour. Let's go for that. So here at the front of the plot, we've got a nice row of peas. This is the Blauschocker heritage variety. We managed to get planted and started off at home and planted up this weekend. We've got nice 2 metre high at least support trellis. Then got some Oregon sugar pod, and then we've got 2 other heritage varieties of pea here: P. Freuer Heinrich and P. Blue Prussian. Now the Freuer Heinrich is a sort of Monge 2 variety, and the Blue Prussian is apparently used for saved seed, so mostly sort of a dried pea for, dried pea, sort of peas pudding kind of recipes. So we've got that one there. That's a weed, not a failed pea. But that's the heritage pea. At the front, we've got some space for another variety. I think Champion of England, this variety, and we'll direct sow that. So we've got that cleared for that, and we'll get that netted as well. Got a line, sort of provisional line for beetroot there. That was a bit of a added extra. Not sure we'll keep to that plan though, we'll see. And we've got the saved garlic from last year here. and the Clark's classic heritage broad bean tucked in there. We've got the allium bed here, got some nice onions at the front, they're doing well, and the garlic there here, that's the garlic. At the back got 2 rows of elephant garlic. That's a pretty decent looking allium bed for this year. Fingers crossed we won't get any white rot. I don't think this was an area with a plot that was susceptible to white rot, but we'll have to see. Down here we've got I think this might be British Queen. I'll have to double check the variety. We've given that a water in today, just a bit of extra space to get some of those in. And we've got the broad bean patch here. We're going to put some in here. Might be a bit late, I don't know, we'll see. We may catch up with these. We've got a first sowing which started off at home, and another line there which were direct sown, and we'll probably put another couple down in there just so we can get rid of a succession on the broad bean front for there. We've then got the parsnip bed, and I'm afraid to say we don't have much in the way of germination on the parsnips at all. Got a great showing of radish, but nothing that I can see as yet on the parsnip front. They are interplanted in between, so here, in the gaps. There's nothing. I might have to do another sowing. I might do a couple of lines just down the middle at the end of middle of May if they don't show. So I'm not 100% convinced we've got masses of germination on the parsnips. We may do another sowing of those before the month is out, bless you. But yeah, not looking good for the parsnip challenge on the Pottymouth Garden Club if we can't get them germinated. And there was me second guessing about starting germination on kitchen towel, but direct sowing. But I'm gonna, we've had quite a dry end to April as far as we've been checking out on the weather forecasts. So might have affected the germination. So fingers crossed we can get some better germination for the competition this month. Well, hope you like the tour so far this month. If you have, it'd be grateful if you give it a thumbs up. Thumbs up is probably one of the best way of getting the video noticed. If you've got any comments or suggestions, again, type away below. I do try and respond to all of your questions, even the ones that are posted in foreign languages. Some people have been posted on the Homey video. I'll put a link up here for it. I'm assuming it's Korean viewers who are watching that and making their comments below. So I even respond to those as well. So if you're liking the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you do give it a thumbs up, I can guarantee 25% less rust in your alliums this year. Don't think that, would you? But give it a thumbs up and put it to the test. Then got the carrot bed, which is a much better germination prospect. We've got here coming up nicely. We'll get them thinned pretty soon. Got another little bit of beetroot here, and then over here we've got the brassica bed. What we'll do is we dig a trench down the length of the plot, put the seedlings in. So we've got kale, got collie, I've got cabbages, kalettes, and then we've got a few other trays there. I've got some green sprouting and some I think Calabrese or Romanesco in the trays there. I'm letting those develop a bit more because they didn't have much in the way of any root systems. So we're going to keep them under here and get them planted out. But we've limed it, fertilised it with chicken manure pellets, and I'm hoping this year this will be top space for cabbages. So thanks for watching today. Thanks ever so much for continuing to watch, and those people that haven't subscribed so far, I'd be grateful if you press the subscribe button You'll get notified of the next time there's a video. April and May seem to have been bunched up together, but April really was a bit of a washout early doors, and it got really dry towards the end. Wasn't really a lot on the plot to show, so we might call this, as I said, the Maple plot tour. And I think I'll probably do another one towards the end of the month, because May does really start to rocket with all the growth on the plot, so we might get a sneaky one in for a definitive May plot tour later on in the month. Thanks for watching along, and see you next time. Bye! Well, welcome to Beans, Brews and Bread for June 2023. Back from the holidays. It's not rained for 23 days in Manchester. I'm doing this in the middle of a thunderstorm. That's the thunder. Might be some lightning. Let's go and have a look, see how the plot's been doing. Have a look. So if you'll forgive the slightly ominous sound of rumbling thunder and any lightning, this is the plot tour for June 2023. I've been away on a week's holiday to Spain, Costa Dorada, and came back on the flight yesterday, came off the plane at Manchester, and the temperature was as hot as it had been when we'd left, 29 degrees. It's not rained here for 23 days in Manchester, which is practically unheard of. So the plot has had a bit of a watering from Grandad Bernard, who's been down and given it a water as much as he can, but it really needs a good proper downpour. So we might have a shower and heavens opening while we're doing the tour. So I'll take you around now, go and see what we've got. The peas look quite good. Broad beans, they're starting to fill up nicely. But things have just been held back so much by the lack of water. We really just need that downpour just to get the ground saturated and get the plants a good boost of necessary watering that they need. But it's just been so difficult to keep on top of the watering before then. 23 days of nothing at all, it's been a real challenge. So I'm going to show you what the plot looks like, warts and all. Not weeding anything, we're still having a bit of a tidy up around the front of the shed area where the polytunnel was. There's still a bit of clearing to do where the parsnips were. Still in two minds what to do about that, but we'll go around the tour now. We'll go and see how things are looking. So first off, in the pea bed, you'll see the peas here have struggled. I think these are Champion Pea of England. Again, there's been no rain. They're so stunted. I really don't think these have made much headway since the last time we videoed them. Again, you can just see they're only just really starting. You have to excuse the thunder and lightning if we go along. But on the more positive side, the reserved peas from last year, from the Heritage Project, have done brilliantly. We've got this Monge 2 variety here, which I think is the P. Freya Heinrich, which they do say is a Monge 2 type. So you can see here, the Monge 2. Great, loads of them, which are looking great. These are looking quite impressive. See what they taste like. We've got the P. Freya Heinrich. Really nice, juicy. Surprise harvest. Won't make its way back to the table, obviously, but quick snack at the allotment. These are great. So P. Freya Heinrich, really good. We'll get a few left over again this year. I'll plant them again next year. On the other side, I think those are the Freya Heinrich. I think that might be the rain front coming in. So here's a quick, super fast tour. What is quite interesting is just looking at the peas as we've just gone through on the tour is to what they looked like at this stage last year. So if you go and watch the video for the June plot tour for 22, Bookmark the video here, and I'll put a link up above, and if you try and select that for watch next, go and have a look and see what the plot looked like this time last year. It's absolute miles different compared to what it is this year based on the weather. So go and have a look at that video and see what the plot looked like this time last year. I hope you've liked what you've seen so far on the tour. If you have, we're really grateful if you give the video a thumbs up. It's one of the best ways of getting the algorithm to share the video to other people who like sort of gardening content or home brewing or bread making. So if you give the video a thumbs up, I'll be really grateful. If you do, I can guarantee that you'll get 25% more water in your thundery week next week, guaranteed. So give it a thumbs up. That's, I think, the blouse shocker. There's the blouse shocker. That's done a lot better. That's the pudding pea. The blouse shocker. We'll get those in. Oh, nice. I'd never have thought I'd have welcomed the idea of doing a tour in the rain quite this much, but there you go. Now, this row of beetroot here has massively improved. We've got actually quite a few nice ones coming up. We've got a nice space between them as well. That's that. You can hear everybody running outside to get the rain. Now here, the garlic, I'm going to probably chalk this down to a bit of a failure this year. This was the second lot we put in, and I'm not convinced that that was a great idea, because it's definitely in the same spot where there was white rot last year. Now, some of these are okay, but not all of them. Some of the onions are doing okay, some of them are starting to bolt. These were from sets. Hopefully you can't get too drenched here during a thunderstorm. But yeah, this is the majority of the Germador garlic, and it's all got white rot. I have pulled a few out. Even I think the elephant garlic might be affected a little bit, although some of the ones further down here don't look as bad, but we'll let those flower heads develop on the elephant garlic. New potatoes, on the other hand, are again suffering from the lack of water, but we should get a good water in tonight. Indeed, I'm getting a good water in. There you go. That's the new potatoes again, coming to some of the dry conditions we've had, but fingers crossed, a bit of water should do them well. You've then got the broad beans. We've got these in two succession sowings. The first one's only from spring, not overwintered, and the next lot after that we're done about a month or so afterwards. So I'll get two harvests. Getting rainy now. The beetroot section here is doing pretty well. Can you tell we're in a thunderstorm? Yeah. Thankfully the iPhone is waterproof now. So that's the beetroot. Oh, it's nice to feel the rain. And this was carrots, but I'm going to have to weed that again and give them another sowing. Lastly, oh no, second to last, parsnips. Some have germinated. I'm going to give them a weed, get rid of these bolted radishes, and we'll get them, I think, re-sown if we can. I have got a few in toilet rolls. I've got a few in toilet rolls in the house. And then here, brassica cage, not doing too bad. Just about see inside. It does need a weed, but there is some pretty good looking brassicas in there. And we'll get some space made for some winter cabbages soon enough. Last of all, tomatoes are in the Florida weave configuration. And we're going to get the twine up and ready for them soon. French beans in Gigantas, they're doing pretty good too. And we'll hope that they carry on through this weather.
they certainly need the water. So, from a very wet Lanehead plots, that's the June tour completed. 23 days of rainless days finished. You might want to look at this time last year's video. Come on, it's worth it. If I want to put up with this, it's definitely worth a check. So watch the video and we'll see you next time. Ta-ra!
So it's July. Been away from the plot for a little bit because I had severe tonsillitis for about a week, which completely knocked me out for 6. So there's a few more weeds than there are crops possibly on the plot at the moment. It's a little bit windy today, so it's time for a plot tour for July. Let's go and have a look. So this is the bean section. We're going to get some dwarf beans in just before the middle of the month. But we've got some, this is Allotment on this side, I think. It'll be just having a little pollinate there, even in the wind. It's absolutely blowing a gale today, so hopefully the sound quality is not too bad. But that's the Allotment on that side, and then this side is the saved seed Gigantas, which quite interested to see. Not very bushy down the bottom, but it is, as you can see, throwing up lots of, as you can see, lots of flowers and some little beans. So we'll have these for the beans rather than the pods, but quite happy with that. Hopefully we'll get some seeds saved. And then over on this side we've got the outdoor tomatoes, which I've been staking up with the is it the Florida weave method. But they're doing really well. Quite impressed. Some little cherry tomatoes on a few. On this side, I think that's the cherries. Obviously not very good at labelling, so hopefully we'll get some harvests off these before they go completely over with blight, so fingers crossed. But yeah, we'll keep those up with the Florida weave. There you go, little tiny little tomatoes. So hopefully they're going to give us a good crop. There's some Roma on the other side, but fingers crossed. Got the brassica cage, got some kaleets down this end, and then going into kale, some is it Nero de Toscana, I think, Tuscan kale there. He's a bit of a weed. As I say, we've not been down for a good week and a bit, and they needed a weed even before then. But there are a few hearting cabbages, as you can see here. They're all hearting up nicely. There's some more Tuscan kale there. And got a little surprise. I thought I'd lost a few, but we've got a little cauliflower. So I'm gonna baby this, give it a weed, maybe a feed as well, and we might have one cauliflower this year. Well, thanks for watching today on Beans, Brews and Bread. If you've liked what you've seen, I'd be grateful if you give the video a thumbs up. Probably one of the best ways of getting the video shared. If you do, I can guarantee that you'll have 25% less cabbage white butterfly on your cauliflowers this year than last. Now the beetroot's done not too bad in this bit. Got some nice ones just hearting up. Maybe give them a thin as well, and some golden beetroot. Carrots obviously did nothing. That needs a weed. And then there's the parsnips. There's a couple of parsnips amongst the weeds. You have to forgive the plot. Like I say, not been very well. But one thing I have found, which I'm a little concerned at, and maybe if there's anybody in the wants to post any suggestions in the comments. As I've been weeding, where is it? Try not to get spiked by anything. Yeah, this here. It looks like the potato family because it's got those little berries on. It's not got any like tubers. Now I know nightshade is in the potato family. I'm just really hoping that that's not like nightshade. I mean, it could. I know the seeds of the berries on potatoes. You can grow potatoes from that. And I'm just really hoping that that is not deadly nightshade. And even if it is, does anybody know the answer as to whether you can compost deadly nightshade? Because does that break down the toxins? Because I don't really want to put that in the compost heap. So, what do you think? Answers in the comments below. Is it nightshade? And if it is, would you compost it? I hope you've liked the video so far for this month's tour. This is the tour for July. Do you know what is worth a watch? Is the video from last year to see the difference in how we managed to grow crops at this point last year and what we had in terms of successes and failures. So if you remember, I'll put a link up to the video above. Bookmark this one. Go and have a look and see the difference in comparison between the plot at this point last year compared to this year. So go watch that video. Now we've had some nice harvests of broad beans. Those were the first ones down there, so that needs clear out. Yeah, we've had some. This is the second crop, just there. Some nice plump pods there. We'll get those harvested. I think when we do get those harvested, we'll put some leeks in this bit, and because I don't think this patch has been affected by white rot or onion rot, so we'll get this cleared when it's harvested and put some onions in. Another not bad crop we've had is the potatoes. We've got this is Epicure, so we've been taking those as we've been going along. See what I mean about nightshade family? That's obviously potato flower. So yeah, your suggestions on that would be appreciated if you've got it. But obviously I know these are potatoes. Taking a few out of there. We'll give them a decent send off. Put them in a potato salad or something. It's been great for wedges as well, this Epicure variety. So happy with those. Not a bad little patch. Don't forget, if you'd like to support the channel, I do have a Patreon page where I upload the videos for the tours and the other content without adverts, because YouTube's cheeky and puts adverts on my content even though it doesn't monetize me yet. So if you want to support the channel, there's 3 different tiers for support, just to help create the content on the Patreon channel, and you can go and watch the content ad-free. No strings attached, just for a bit of support for the channel. So I've got the Patreon page set up there to sign up down there. Cheers! I've taken a few of the elephant garlic up, as you can see. Here, not bad size. It's the elephant garlic. Get that dried off and probably save the cloves for next year. Sowing. Now onions, again, quite a few have gone to seed, as you can tell there, but I have harvested a few from the pot, and there's a bit of a mixed bag really. They're not a bad size, as you can see. That's not too bad. Not affected badly by white rot in some patches, but ones that have gone to seed have been either too small, a bit stunted, or have been affected by white rot. So obviously next year we don't put any onions there or in that section of the plot either. We have put a few leeks in as a bit of a trial. We're going to put the leeks where the broad beans are, but these are a bit of a test to see what they do in a bed that's been affected by white rot for the onions. One row of beetroot. These are turning into monsters. You can see that one there. You can see that one there. That one, absolute monster. So they'll be great roasted. Peas pretty much over and done with. You know, this Champion of Pea of England didn't really go crazy, but we put a few very late sowings of French beans or borlotti in, where the peas were, obviously these were the heritage peas. We had a great Oregon sugar pod. Now the heritage peas, which were, I think, Freuer Heinrich and Blue Prussian, they all got eaten by pea moth larvae. So we've not been able to save any of those, but we have got a few left, and we are taking these as we go along. But yeah, not a bad pea. Still need a bit of firming up, but should get a half decent harvest off those. So a bit of a mixed bag really for July. What would I say? These beetroot are good. Managed to get a light sowing in of French beans and borlotti. Peas, don't know. I think the dry weather they suffered. We get one flush of the Oregon sugar pod as a sugar snap pea, which were great, but you really had to catch them at just the right time. Otherwise they completely went over. And yeah, quite a bit of clearing up to do. Do you know what? I think there's almost more cabbage white butterflies inside the net than there is outside. So I'm going to give them a squish in a minute. But yeah, bit of tidying up. Obviously the onion bed's going to come clear. Broad beans and potatoes are going to come clear. And I think we're going to try some chard and some perpetual spinach in a spot, and I think we're going to go for a row of turnips as well, because I missed the window for Swede. I think that's going to be a bit of a missed opportunity, but I do have some winter cabbages that we're going to go on this side of the brassica cage once I've given that a weed, and maybe, you know, try and see if we can get a few other bits and bats in. But yeah, a bit of a challenging month this month with being laid low with tonsillitis, and like I say, almost more weeds than the harvest. But there's a few things that we can hopefully get up. There's probably more onions than we anticipate after we get them out of the ground, so get a few of those stored away if we can. But yeah, some lessons to be learned and opportunities for the second half of the year, and a bit of a tidy up. Hopefully we can make a better go of it in the second half of the year. Well, thanks for watching today on Beans, Brews and Bread. If you've got any comments or suggestions, particularly on that plant that I weeded out, and whether you think that might be nightshade, if you do think it's nightshade, whether it's worth composting it or not, because whether the toxins will go, put your suggestions in the comments below. If you've got any updates on your own plots and what veggies you're growing, or if you've had any successes or failures, I'd also like to hear from you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, then press the subscribe button, the bell icon, and you'll be notified next time we put a video out. But hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll get this tidied up and some new crops put in. So see you next time. Bye! Well, it's August on the plot. It's been a while. The plot does look a little sorry state, but it's been a long time since we've done a plot tour. It's August just about still, bank holiday weekend. Go and have a look. everything's looking a little bit sorry for itself, even though it is August. Had a few bouts of illness, which has prevented me from coming down as much and keeping on top of things. Hopefully not too dispiriting, but I think it's important to show, if you do end up having a bit of a break from the allotment, what you can expect in terms of tidying up and getting things back into a manageable state. So we'll show August before I do a serious tidy up over this bank holiday weekend. Things that have worked well are the remaining beetroots. We'll show those in a minute. Really appreciate it if you give the video a thumbs up, just to give a bit of oomph to try and keep things going. I've been noticing that the videos have been not getting as many views and not possibly getting pushed around much as you'd hope. So if you really could maybe watch another one of the videos, maybe see what things look like on the plot this time last year in August. Maybe if you want to have a look at one of the tool reviews, we've got the Homey hand tool review, we've got the Wolf cultivator as well. I may actually do another video on the Wolf cultivator over this weekend when I get things tidied up and you can see that in action again. So really welcome your support. Just give the video a thumbs up. Maybe go and watch one of the old videos as well if you've got a spare 5-10 minutes, and help support the channel that way. Cheers. So I said I'd show it warts and all, and that is one very warty part of the patch. I really do need to get this sorted out. It's gone completely the pot. It's not necessarily that bad, apart from things like some of the, I've actually got some free raspberries from next door's plot. There's a bramble there which does need tackling, but it's thankfully not too bad, but does need tackling this year. I don't want to get these raised beds, you can just about see them still, which was in the old polytunnel. I do want to get this second raised bed on this side built as well. It's sort of like nursery stage to try and get some brassicas started next year and get them transplanted out. But yeah, really do need to get this under control. It's not too bad. Some of the grass is going to seed now, but there's not a lot I can do about that. And there's an old man's beard or something. That stuff there is quite shallow rooted, so that can come out. Yeah, not looking great. Gonna try and get as much of this cleared as possible, and the compost bin. And this was, just getting overflown from that. It's not that bad. There is some weed fabric under there, keeping it under control to some extent. Another failure is the outdoor tomatoes. I really don't think it's worth doing outdoor tomatoes again next year. These, whatever the variety this is, has stood pretty well. It's like a maybe Tigrella, based on what they look like. But yeah, we'll get these out. They're just, completely gone now. Cherry ones over there, we may have got a few, but no, we'll be best to clear that. It shouldn't be too bad. Again, there's some, weed fabric just under there, which will keep things under control a little bit. Yeah, so tomatoes, not good again. I really don't think I'll bother doing outdoor tomatoes again next year, unless I've got a polytunnel. Kind donations from any polytunnel companies are welcome. If you want to sponsor a video of me putting one up and actually doing a proper job this time with a decent polytunnel, only need a small one for this back end of the plot. What has done well is the saved seed of the Gigantas. As you can see here, these are drying off, so we'll get these harvested. Something's been having a munch at them, possibly wood lice, but there's some here still. And yeah, they're drying off nicely, so we'll get a half decent supply off those. Borlotti, again, not doing too bad. Decent sized pods here. They're looking pretty nice, so we'll get a small harvest off those, mainly just for probably saving seed for next year. But yeah, they do need to get this bit under control. We've got the brassica cage, which has done great. We've had plenty of cabbages off here, and we've harvested some of the Cavolo Nero, as you can see, but again, weeds. This was, I think, the compost I dragged over from the composting in place video. And yeah, the seed bank that was left in that was awful. So I'm thinking some of these I've got some kale planted at home, and we'll keep those going over winter. But this bed I'm going to probably clear off and cover over before manuring properly with this year. We're not going to grow a lot over the winter. But yeah, some stuff's not done too bad, so I think we'll get the cover off, give it a weed, and there's some stuff in here which hasn't done too bad. I think that's kalettes down there, and they look pretty nice. So, or it's red kale. Yeah, so not too bad. We've had some good cabbages and kale and stuff. I've been able to get down and harvest a bit. There's one over here. That's a nice, could be a kalette. Big and stocky, whatever it is. Some of these are just lovely. Again, the kale, we had some nice kale off these. There's a few cabbages over there, but mostly had kale and a few small cabbages. Yeah, so that's the brassica cage. Well, thanks for watching today. I hope it's not been too disheartening to see the plot in the condition it is, but I think it's important to show it when it's just the reality of it, really. You do get into a stage sometimes where you can't keep on top of it. I think it's probably only worthwhile and honest to show that this is the plot as I keep it, and you know, if yours gets like this, then it's not too difficult a job to get it back in hand. Like I say, fingers crossed we'll be able to get a bit more on top of it, and it'll look a bit more productive with some plants at least for overwintering, maybe some, you know, salad crop, a few wintry lettucey kind of things, and some chard, which always keeps over winter not too bad, apart from the last winter when we had that massive cold spell. But shouldn't hopefully have as cold a winter this year if we're lucky. Parsnips were a failure here. There are a few, not many though. There's a few, might tidy up and sort of just leave the ones that are in place. Nice harvest of beetroot still. And we'll get some chard planted at home. The rest of this bed, again, I'm thinking of just basically covering the whole thing in manure this winter. Very damp and grey and slightly, you know, gone off really, the plot, unfortunately. Yeah, once you kind of take like for here, for example, we've harvested the broad beans, they've all come out, the potatoes came out, and this bed's not actually too bad in terms of weeds, so I think we're going to cover some parts but not others. This one we may keep open, try and get a few bits in the ground, you know, some chard, maybe a line of turnips or something. Again, this one, which was the onion bed, we kind of harvested what we had that wasn't affected by the white rot, like one small bag at the house of onions which we'll keep. So again, this might be one that we'll cover up or get you know, manured over, so that we don't have, you know, tons of weeding to do. I want to try and get in control of this as soon as possible, really, before it gets completely out of hand. And then lastly, the front bed doesn't look too bad. We've got, we'll obviously keep this one going over winter though, because we've got a row of leeks here. Some have failed down there though, so we've got 3 rows, and for some reason, because I think this was a bed last year, if you watched the video for this point last year, we had onions in this front bed before I moved them across to this bed, and again there was white rot in this one. So we're gonna maybe struggling even with the leeks with white rot possibly, I don't know. Again, we've got some pretty healthy looking Beetroot, again, I've said it once before, but we never struggled growing beetroot on this plot the size of that. That's a lovely looking beetroot. So I may take a few of those home. And then the very front row here, got a few Borlotti, again, probably put in a little bit too late. Not really going to do much, I don't think. This one here, we may get a few on before the end of the year. But no, it's just either struggling with fertility or weeds are difficult to keep hold up, on top of. But no, it's not. It looks bad from this side of things. But yeah, a lot to tidy up at the back, a lot of weeding to do. I think part of the problem that I can't get to the compost bins easily, and they haven't got very good fronts on them to actually compost in a decent amount of good way. So I'm going to measure the fronts and get some boards together to slot in so we can actually start composting these weeds, because they should compost down. Yes, we'll have some weeds to some extent, but the hotter we can get it, better they'll clear off the weed seeds and get some fertility before we get some manure on. A bit of cleaning to do. It's not, as I say, watch it for warts and all. I think it's, some people have got plots that, well, I don't have the time to devote that much to be able to come down every single day, or, come down as much as I can, do as much as I can when I'm here. But like you say, it's just a question of getting the time to put an hour aside to clear up, get on top of it. This is the reality of owning an allotment. It gets in this state every now and again. You've got to do what you can to clear it, and also you can have failures and some successes in your harvests. It's just the reality of it. All you can do is your best, and hope you maybe get a little bit of inspiration from this, because even when it does get like this, it will bounce back. A lot of it will die back as the temperatures start getting a bit colder. So plans going forward next month, clear what we can, cover some of it. I think we'll leave a couple of beds open. This one here, we'll probably harvest the beetroot, cover the rest. This one we might leave open. This one we'll weed and cover. The one at the front we'll probably keep as is, as far as we can with those leaks. A lot of tidying up to do on top of it. But gotta do what you gotta do. Thanks for watching today. If you liked it, I'd be grateful if you give the video a thumbs up, like I mentioned earlier. If you haven't subscribed already, then press the subscribe button and the bell icon so you can be notified next time we've got a video out. And thanks for coming along this month, and we'll get one set up for next month's tour too. So thanks for watching. Bye. Well, it was far too hot yesterday. Even for October, it was 22 degrees yesterday to be able to do some filming after we tidy up on the plot. So let's go and have a look, see what the plot's looking like for the October tour. Come on, let's have a look. Yesterday was an absolute scorcher. I've never known it to be 22 degrees in October. That's absolutely crazy. We got plenty done on the allotment yesterday. Bit of tidying up, bit of compost put down, bit of green manure. So let's go and have a look at the tour now. We'll show what we hope we did. So I think we'll do the plot tour in reverse this month. Sorry there wasn't any footage for September, but it was pretty horrible weather. We had loads of rain and wasn't really a lot doing on the allotment. We could have tidied stuff up, but also I've done a few bits and bats in the house for sort of getting things into the ground. The weather's been so warm and mild that I don't think we're going to miss
the window for putting some leafy crops in, but we'll give it a go. But anyway, here at the front of the plot, we've got the beans here. We've got just a few, not many, of the sort of, French cobra bean here. So we'll take a few of these. A bit late in the season, I think, for popping those in, but not done. I mean, look, it's not too bad, is it? Little mini harvest. We'll maybe get one dinner out of those. We've got much better performance on the borlotti. Really happy with these. Look, these are still something's a little munched there, but really happy with how these are done. These were a really late sowing, so I'm hoping that we'll get enough. Here we go. Yeah, in the pods to dry for this year. Looking good. And then here again, I think it's just some dwarf beans. Nothing really doing with those. They were a bit of a late addition, but yeah, happy with the borlotti. Got a really nice, pretty firm. So we should get some. Not too many, but we'll get at least a few. Around here, we've had a go over the what was, I think, the old. We had some garlic in here, didn't we? So we've taken the soil miller to this section, and we've sown some late summer, not an autumn mix, but a late summer mix of green manure. So hopefully put this netting down to keep it moist, try and keep the birds off. Maybe something's had a bit of a go over there, so I'll try and weight the sides down. But yeah, should have a nice patch for the green manure, and we'll see how that goes over the next month, see if it germinates. Over here we had a good tidy up yesterday. Half of the bed, which was the onion bed, half still to do. Obviously very weedy, lots of deep roots to get through, but not too bad. Get that finished off this weekend if we can. I'm not sure about this. We might put, having done the summer mix here, I think we might do an autumn mix of green manure here. So we'll get these two beds. At least we've got something in the ground, and we'll see how that goes into autumn. And we're still pulling up big harvests. Look at this. That is absolute perfection. Look at the size of that one at the back. That'd be good for some tea. Yeah, happy with that. Those. Again, good going of this over with the soil miller yesterday, just to get the little weeds out of it. We cleared this bed, was it end of August, beginning of September? And we've just put down, you see a little bit of wood from some of the compost heap, but we've got this. This is the compost that we got out the bottom of the bin from the end of last year. We had a spare bag. That's really good stuff. You can see just a few little, bits of eggshell and the like. Yeah, there you go, bit of eggshell. But yeah, it's broken down quite nicely. Might be full of weeds, but I think we've got the stuff started off at the house with the Chinese and leafy greens, and we'll try and get these stations sown, because I did some direct sowings of chard here, and they have not done very well. The perpetual, I think, yeah, perpetual chard and the spinach has done pretty well there, but the other ones, the rainbow has come up, not bad germination, but again, oh no, here we go, Barres. This is another one, Barres here, so it has germinated, but again we have got a few weeds. But yeah, this chard here, slow off the uptake, maybe nibbled by slugs and snails. Interesting, we're getting in the weeds here, we're getting this. Looks a little bit sort of a carrot or something. No, look. Red. Very strange. Oh, don't know what we had sown here last time. Was it the heritage carrot, I think, maybe? Anyway. But yeah, a nice clear bed there. We'll, I think, some station sown Chinese and leafy greens. So, not a bad month. Had a few bits so far, as you can see, harvesting wise, but there's a few bits still to clear, so we'll go and have a look at those next. And towards the end, surprise harvest of some heritage seed. So keep watching, and I'll show you the heritage seed that we've managed to save for this year. Well, I've had a little project in mind, which was a allotment and vegetable garden planner and journal. So I've got to put a link down below, get a little video for that coming up. But if you're interested to see the journal and planner, it's not tied to the calendar year, so you can get it any time of the year. It gives you the freedom to start it when you buy it, so you're not tied to start it in January or with spring. So if you're interested, there's a link for that down below. It helps support the channel. If you're not interested in getting a planner for planning for growing next year, if you think for the beans, brews and bread one. But cheers. Thanks very much if you do, and thanks very much. Cheers. Over here, parsnips. They survived. So I'm going to give these a good weed. And we've got a few, maybe 2, 3, 4 maybe parsnip plants. We'll give this a weed. And Potty Mouth Garden Club parsnip competition might still be in the running. Who knows? Yeah, the carrots, nothing doing there. The beetroot, some of the golden beetroot, tiny little ones here doing well. Some of the golden beetroot as well here. On this side, the golden beetroot, a bit tidgy. Should probably have thinned these, but nice little sort of golf ball size. Might do a bit of a pickle or something with these. Get these harvested up, and just clear the rest of the bed. Maybe get some extra salads maybe in this bit. Salads would probably be a good idea in there. Over here, pretty much need to just clear off the cabbage patch now. Oh look, huge slug and snails. But yeah, we'll get those tidied up now. Pretty much done with. Missed the opportunity for I think late sowings of cabbage. Unfortunately, the caterpillars had a go of those at the house. So yeah, not great. Then tidy up, obviously still required over here. I've had a bash at it. Things are dying off now and slowing down in growth, so that should be okay over winter. A bit of a project because things aren't going to be growing as much as we should do. Tomatoes need picking out as well. Don't think we'll be doing the outdoor tomatoes next year, but this has been a bit of a success. Took a few yesterday. You know, this was the Gigantas bean that we were given from. I'll put the name in the video here, hopefully. But look, these are great. I'm going to save this seed for next year. I've not had loads of beans, but look how good they are. Gigantas. It looks like a little bit sort of a variety, a little bit like a runner bean, but they are. That's definitely for the beans, definitely. So they are brilliant. Slugs and snails do like them. We've got a few little lonesome guests like there, little fella, and they do seem to suffer a bit with that. But I think if you get only what, maybe 3, 4 plants, maybe at most. And we've had, a good couple of handfuls of seeds, so in a better year, maybe, less pest pressure. Yeah, here we go, look. Yeah, some great beans. Look at that. Brilliant. Really happy with that. So, we'll probably, quadrupled our yield for growing next year, maybe. So, quite like this lattice idea for the beans. Try and get that sorted out next year if we can. But no, not looking a bit damp and weedy, obviously. Yeah, still some Cavolo Nero. You can see here, look. Yeah, still got some Cavolo Nero. Looking not too bad. Might try and save those actually. To clear the rest out. These ones might, do over winter. See how they go. There's a few red kale plants. There's another one here. Nice red kale. There. That's not looking too bad. Nice red kale plant there. So there's a few bits. And then whatever those monsters are down the back. I'll just go pretty woody now, so try and get this cleared up. So not looking bad at all. A few things we can harvest. We found that volunteer turnip yesterday. We saw that yesterday. But no, we'll have a bit more productivity. I think we'll get a few things planted in there. Got some clearing to do for autumn green manure, and we've got some late summer manure, green manure. Not bad. So there's a few bits and bats to have. Not bad at all. Thanks for the tour for October. Hope you've liked it. If you have, I'm grateful if you give the video a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed yet, you know what to do. Press the subscribe and the bell icon, and we'll see how things get on over this month, and maybe post a few videos of putting some plants in and getting some leafy greens over in autumn. So thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye. Cheers. Well, it's the start of November. There's been some tidying up going on the allotment. A few things have been sown and planted. So let's go and have a look, see how things are going. Let's go and have a look. So on today's tour, we've had a bit of a downpour. We've had a few dry spells where we've been able to get a bit of work done and some tidying up. Things are kind of slowing down a little bit on the plot, but we've got the green manures in. That's germinated quite well. Got another bed with a sort of autumn winter mix of green manure sown in, which we showed last month, but we can show the progress for November. A bit more tidying up done. Section cleared out quite nicely. I'll do a video later on in the week where we'll get the autumn sown garlic in, but we'll show that all nice and neat and tidy. Let's go and have a look, see how the plot's doing for November. I think we'll do the touring backwards again this month. It's been a very stormy month down south, and we had a little bit of winds here which caused the Allotment beans to fall over, but they're just about still standing up and drying on the canes. So yeah, they're still not quite as papery as I'd like ideally. So hopefully they'll carry on drying. Not a massive harvest this year, but got a few. And around here we've got this was the summer mix of the green manure. A few random errant garlic cloves hanging around. You remember, this is the bed where we had the garlic and onions in this year, and we had quite a bad white rot. Oh, sorry, no. This is where we had the garlic and onions the year before, which had white rot. And the next bed over, we've also shown some green manures where we also had white rot when we planted the onions and garlic this year. But this is the green manure here. There's obviously a few weeds that we can be dispensed with. But other than that, we've got these here. I think this is the green manure stuff. Yeah, a few weeds in between, but not too bad. Some pretty decent germination there. I say some weeds coming through, but hopefully we should be able to work between those. And this bed was the bed where, as I said, we had the onions and garlic this year. We had white rot again. I've sown an autumn and winter mix of green manure, and we've got the mesh fabric over just to stop the pigeons having a go at the seed. Oh look, rainbow. So whilst we take a pause on the tour this month, and we have a little shelter from the rain, which you can probably just hear in the background, I'd just like to mention we've got a newsletter set up now for each month. So if you want to subscribe to the newsletter, I've got a link in the description below. It's also on the Patreon page as well. So if you want to subscribe to the channel on the Patreon page and help support Beans, Brews and Bread on there, we'll get your name given in the credits for which tier you're kind enough to support. But we'll get the newsletter put out on both an email list and or the Patreon page if you choose to support the channel in that way. So if you do, be very grateful. Thanks. Next bed along, we've got our volunteer spud. Look, potato. I think maybe a volunteer spud plant. But yeah, we've given this a good milling with the soil miller, and that's come up quite nice. We've got the chard on the end here. I've got a few things in the house in cell trays that I'm going to put into this bed over winter, and some overwintered salads, a few sort of things. We'll get them covered up because I think now we want that little bit of protection just to keep them going. The next bed, I've got the parsnips from the Pottymouth Garden Parsnip Challenge, and there's a few decent looking specimens there. As I say, the germination was terrible this year for those. Next to them, got some of the old beetroot, not doing brill, and then that's sort of fallow again. We'll get that cleaned up. We've got the brassica bed again, that's pretty much done with now, and that cleaned up. Oh, free strawberry, free raspberry. That's on my side now. It's Final Keepers. Had another go of this. Tidied up some of that side. And we've got this side to tackle. Again, this is our winter project. Getting all this tidied up again. Got the bean support here to take down. I've cleared what was the outdoor tomato trial. We'll get that planted up with something. We'll do a separate video of that for this week, which we'll plant up with a autumn sowing crop, which should overwinter quite nicely. I hope you found something useful on the tour this month. Things slowing down a little bit in November, but still quite warm temperature wise. Things are clearly still germinating. The weeds are thankfully slowing down, so we have to get on top of those a little bit, but things are germinating. But we're kind of missing your last window now in for trying to get into any overwintered lettuces or salad crops and things to get in. If you do, probably be a good idea to get them protected as well. If you like the video this month, be grateful if you give the video a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, then press on the subscribe button below. You press the bell icon, and you'll get notified the next time we get a video out. Thanks for coming along this month, and we'll see you next. Cheers. Bye. Well, welcome to Beans, Brews and Bread for December. Oh, it's chilly. We've had going down to -8 maybe last couple of days overnight, and some days not even breaking past -4 even after the sun's gone up. Do you see what damage there is to the allotment? Let's go and have a look. Well, as you can see here, we've got a couple of beds of the green manure. We've not actually fared that badly. Lots of it's germinated. As you can see, some of this stuff is poking through the frosted ground, and I'm assuming that this is the green manure and not just simply weeds. I mean, there are a few weeds obviously buried in between here, like for example here, got a bit of a dandelion or something, but these things definitely green manure. A few grasses maybe. we'll see how this goes. This was the late summer mix. We'll see how that fares. The ground is absolutely rock solid, look. There's nothing giving at all. So, I'm quite surprised the green manure survived. And over on this side we sowed some as well. This was the autumn-winter mix. It's kind of like a sort of a brassica type. I can just tell from the leaves. So we'll hopefully, yeah, there's loads of germination over here. It's looking quite nice. Hopefully not killed off by the frost. And we'll see how that fares. That was the autumn-winter mix. Looking like it's germinated. Don't know how we'll go, but we'll see.
Well, I'm having a little break in the shed from the tour this month. I'd just like to give a quick shout out to Ali at My Rusty Garden. I'll share a link to her channel down in the comments below, but she's the best commenter on all the videos, and it's so great to see when she posts a comment and hear what she's getting up to in her garden, which is over in Canada. So if you've not subscribed to her channel, then go and check it out. Go and press the subscribe link for hers down below. Cheers.
I've got the chard here, just about. I think we might get some growth out of these if we get a warmer snap. And the rest of this bed was kind of pretty much mulched over with compost and left. So we'll see how that fares. Frosty ground. Got the parsnips here. Hopefully we've got just a couple. That one doesn't look too bad there. This one. Let's see how this one looks. Might have a decent one or two, maybe half a dozen if we're lucky. The beetroot's pretty much given up the ghost over here. These were only very small. I didn't thin these really. As you can see, yeah, these have, yeah, that's all. That was the frost has done for those. The brassica patch. We'll have a look at that. If you'd like to help support the channel, you can always go and join on the Patreon page. I'd be grateful if you'd subscribe and choose one of the tiers, but if you don't, I think you can choose to become a free member, and you'll still get notified of the every time we post a new video up in advance of YouTube, and you can watch it without adverts if you choose to support the channel that way. Or if you just be a free member, you'll get the monthly newsletter, which I'll send out on the 1st of every month. Give me some, hints, tips, and a few planting ideas and a couple of recipes and things. So you can always join free on Patreon that way and get the newsletter. Now, forgiving the weeds for a bit, in the brassica patch we've got, I think that's a Kaylet plant here. But the Cavolo Nero could just about get a few crops off that. I don't know what they are. They're definitely not Brussels sprouts. They're going all tall and leggy. No idea. And there's a few more plants down the other end. So certainly these two here. Maybe that one down there as well. Get a few off that. Bit of cabbage. I think this Kaylet plant here got a massive load of. These are definitely Kaylets. So I think if we give this a tidy up, you can see here, look, these are all Kaylets. These, look. These, look. Focus. There. They're great. I'm going to have a harvest of these, I think, today.
give these a... Yeah, look. Kale plants. Great. So, nice autumn, well, winter now. Nice winter harvest, unexpected, but I'll take those. How about that for a surprise harvest? Would not have, wouldn't have factored on getting any kalettes because the way that the plants grew, they were tiny little things, but they've lasted all year. And there's the result. Quite impressed. You wouldn't have thought that you'd get that quality of kaolette based on the plants when they started, but really chuffed that they managed to get quite a nice little harvest at the end of the year. So, any thoughts or suggestions on how to cook kalettes, greatly received in the comments below. I've got the garlic bed, which is pretty much frozen solid. This is where we put the elephant garlic in. Nothing's come up as yet, I can see. There's a few that have, like that one there's pushed out. Hopefully we'll get the ground thawed and push them back in again, but not a lot have pushed themselves out or been picked out by the birds, so fingers crossed the garlic will do a bit better this year in a spot where we've not had garlic before. A few weeds to still hand weed out. A very, very weedy bed. It was very difficult to get anything in, but now we've got some of it cleared. A lot easier to see the difference between the weeds and the garlic, hopefully. Fingers crossed. If you've enjoyed the video today, I'd be grateful if you'd give the video a thumbs up. If you've not subscribed, then press the flashy subscribe button below, and don't forget to press the bell icon so you can be notified of the next time I've got a video out. Okay, we'll see you later. Cheers. Bye.